Hey guys, Justin here with Rocky Mountain, and this is my ride review of Bridgestone's new Battlecross E50 Extreme tire. All right, so last year in 2019, Bridgestone came out with the E50 Enduro tire. They had a lot of success with it, so they wanted to use that same tire tread and make a gummy tire out of it. And that's what the E50 Extreme is. It's Bridgestone's first gummy tire, and it's made for those guys that really like the hard enduro type riding and trails. If you like the really slow, technical, rocky, rooty type stuff, this is probably gonna be a good tire for you. Now, before I take this thing out riding, there's a couple things I wanna point out on this tire. First of all, when I feel the rubber compound on this tire, it is extremely soft. And not only is it soft, but it feels really sticky. Now, I measured the durometer with our durometer tester. It's kind of hard to measure, but I'm getting somewhere between 55 and low 60s. So it's definitely on the soft side of hybrid tires that are out there. Currently, there's only one size available for the E50 Extreme. It's a 140/80/18. And I don't want the sizing to confuse you. There's a couple different ways to measure a dirt bike tire. And for whatever reason, Bridgestone is measuring this one a little different than their motocross tires. So don't get thrown off by the 140. I actually measured the carcass and it measures about 110 millimeters. The knob width is about 130 millimeters. So it's gonna be a perfect tire size for your 250, 300, 450 motorcycles. And another thing worth pointing out is the E50 Enduro tire that came out last year, it was DOT approved. The new Extreme is not DOT approved. All right, with that said, I'm excited to get my CRF250RX out and see how this tire does. I've got some really technical trails that I like to ride, so I'm gonna take it up there and see how it does. Just based on how soft and sticky the knobs feel, I'm confident it's going to do well in the rocks. My big question is, how long is this thing gonna last? Because typically when these hybrid tires get down into the 60 durometer range, they tend to not last as long. So it'll be really interesting to see how this thing does. So let's throw it in the truck and go for a ride. This kind of rocky stuff where you're just spinning, it's definitely not easy on these tires, but I feel like I'm hooking up great. I just gotta catch my nephew who's cruising up this thing. All right guys, so this is my third day out on these tires, and I've been doing a lot of rocky stuff like this. Right now I'm going downhill, but I sure like the gummy tire going up in this loose rocky stuff. Keep in mind I'm running the front tire, the matching front tire, the Enduro one. I haven't had any complaints with the tires. They've worked really well. The rear tire definitely is hooking up awesome in these rocks. My first ride out, I didn't have the camera, but it was wet. It had just rained and everything was pretty slick. Got into a little bit of mud. It was, for the most part, awesome dirt. Just a few muddy spots and slick rocks, but it did really well. As far as the carcass goes, it's fairly soft, but not too soft. It soaks everything up real good. I don't get kicked funny or anything. I can stay straight in this kind of stuff. Now I will say, 3 rides into this, I'm definitely starting to see some wear on these things. But some of these rocky hill climbs, you know, they're hard on any tire. especially one this soft that's going to do so well in the slow speed technical stuff. Anyway, my last couple rides, it wasn't all rock like this. I did some higher speed desert stuff, kind of mixed in with the technical stuff, and it did well there too. Again, the dirt in those sections was like near perfect, so it was hard to find fault in this tire. But where I need it to work, and this kind of stuff, works awesome. So I'm gonna keep riding. I'll show you guys the tire here in a little bit. Try to guess how many hours I have on it and let you see the wear. Alright, I should have stopped riding earlier. Well, it was lighter. It's getting dark now, but as you can see, I'm not missing any knobs yet. Definitely have lots of cuts in them from these sharp rocks. These hill climbs just kill them. Definitely some cracking. Still, man, look how soft that thing is. It is so awesome in the rocks. So 3 rides, and they've been kind of long rides, long slow rides, most of them. How many hours you think we got, Ty?
Oh, probably 8.
8 slow hours. It's been a while, but man, they're doing good. So we're gonna finish up our ride and do some more rides, put some more time on them. Go ahead, I'll follow you. This ride's winding down, so I'm going to give you guys my final feedback on the tire. I've had it on a couple of weeks now, and I've done several rides. I don't know, 8, 9 rides, and they've all been pretty hairy like this. Well, actually hairier than this. This is actually pretty decent, but rocky, gnarly, just mean trails. Anyway, this thing is conformed and stuck to the rocks really well. Fantastic tire in the gnarly rocky stuff. I mean, this thing hooks up good. I've been really happy with it. Over the weekend I took it out to the desert. It rained, so the dirt was amazing, and I was pushing it pretty hard. A lot faster stuff. A really fun corner track, kind of some hard pack on the straightaways, braking hard into the corners, and it did great. I mean, it's obviously not the most ideal for motocross, you know, with the softer carcass, softer rubber, but I didn't have any issues. I thought it did really good. Of course, I did have perfect dirt. But let's talk about what this tire is made for. It is made for the gnarly, rocky, hard enduro type stuff, where you're moving slow, traction is just critical, and this thing is so soft, sticky, that it just hooks up so good in that stuff. Now, obviously a tire like this, being this soft, performing that well in the really tight technical stuff, it's not going to last as long. A softer rubber tire just isn't going to last as long. I've run some other tires with a similar durometer. Now, I've blown through some tires in a ride. So I've got to say, as soft as this one is, which it's about as soft as any of the hybrids out there, it's held up really well. And when we're done with this ride, which I have been beating on it today. We'll check it out, we'll look at it, see how much life is left in it. Alright guys, check out the tire. I'm actually surprised it looks as good as it does. It looks really good from the back side. If you look at the front side, you can see that it is not looking so good. I mean, that one's about to come off. But it hasn't. I've been amazed that they're all staying on. As hard as I beat this thing, man, I think I got a few more rides in it. But if you're the type of guy that wants optimal traction and the gnarly stuff, you're not hitting high speed trails all the time, you're not hitting paved roads to connect your trails, this is a fantastic tire. If you're gonna race some of those hard enduro races, this would be a great tire to be on. If you guys found this helpful, hit the like button. Be sure and subscribe for more how-to videos that we do, more product spotlights, bike builds, and leave your comments below. I want to hear what your guys' favorite hybrid tire is, what you guys are using, what kind of terrain you're hitting, and if you run this tire, give me your feedback on it as well. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks. So again, I'm happy with it, and we'll see you guys in another video.